Welcome to Techville. Techville was a bright and shiny city. Robots lived there. Zoom lived in Techville. He was a speedy robot. He would shout, zipping around. Zing was his best friend. Zing was a clever inventor. He made all sorts of gadgets.
Check out my new invention.
He'd say with a grin. Zoom and Zing loved to play games. They loved to explore. Techville was a wonderful place for adventures. Little did they know, a big adventure was about to begin. One day, the lights in Techville started to flicker. The robots slowed down.
What's happening?
They gasped. Dr. Vortex had stolen the golden battery. The golden battery powered all of Techville. Without it, the robots would run out of energy. Dr. Vortex was a grumpy scientist. He wanted all the power for himself.
With the golden battery, Techville will be mine.
He cackled. Zoom and Zing knew they had to stop him. Techville was counting on them.
"We need a plan," Zoom declared, his voice filled with urgency. The situation was dire and time was running out.
Said Zoom, his metallic brow furrowed. He was the leader, always thinking ahead, always strategizing. But this time, even he seemed stumped.
"But how can we find Dr. Vortex?" Zing asked, his voice tinged with worry. Dr. Vortex was a master of disguise and deception, always one step ahead.
Suddenly, a whirring sound filled the air. It was a familiar sound, one that brought a glimmer of hope to the team. It was Buzz, a little drone with bright flashing lights. Buzz was not just any drone, he was their secret weapon, always ready to assist in times of need.
"I saw where Dr. Vortex went. Follow me," Buzz exclaimed, his lights flashing with excitement. He had been scouting the area and had valuable information.
Buzz was known for his speed and knowledge of Techville's skies. He could navigate the city like the back of his hand, making him an invaluable ally.
We could really use your help, Buzz, Zing said, his voice filled with gratitude. They had been in tight spots before, but Buzz always came through.
Zing said, his eyes widening with hope. The team had been feeling the pressure, but Buzz's arrival brought a renewed sense of optimism. Buzz zipped close to Zing, almost as if giving him a high five. It was a gesture of camaraderie, a silent promise that they would succeed together.
"Let's do it," Buzz buzzed, his enthusiasm infectious. The team felt a surge of energy, ready to take on any challenge.
He buzzed, leading the way. The team followed, their spirits lifted. With Buzz at the helm, they knew they had a fighting chance against Dr. Vortex. As they raced through the city, the team felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were not just chasing Dr. Vortex, they were fighting for the safety of Techville. Buzz's sensors scanned the area, picking up traces of Dr. Vortex's energy signature. "This way," he directed, his voice steady and confident. The team nodded in agreement, their determination unwavering. They knew the road ahead would be tough, but with Buzz leading the way, they were ready for anything. Buzz led them towards a dark alley, the last known location of Dr. Vortex. The team braced themselves, ready to face whatever lay ahead. They prepared for the confrontation, their hearts pounding with anticipation. This was it, the moment they had been waiting for. Buzz hovered above, providing aerial support. His lights flashed, signaling that he was ready. The team took a deep breath and moved forward, united in their mission. Dr. Vortex's lair was far away, beyond the sparkling river and past Mount Gadget. The lair, shrouded in mystery and danger, was a fortress of evil, perched ominously on the horizon. It was said to be impenetrable, guarded by traps and minions loyal to Dr. Vortex. First, they had to cross the sparkling river. The river was not just any ordinary river. It sparkled with an eerie glow, hinting at the dangers that lay beneath its surface. The team gathered at the edge, their faces reflecting both determination and fear. It was full of bubbling electric currents. The water crackled with energy, sending sparks flying into the air. The currents were unpredictable, making the river a formidable obstacle. The team knew that one wrong move could spell disaster.
"We can't swim across. The currents are too strong and the electricity too dangerous,"
cried Zoom, his voice echoing with a mix of fear and frustration. The team huddled together, brainstorming ways to cross the treacherous river. Then, they came face to face with Mount Gadget. The mountain loomed large, its peak hidden in the clouds. It was known for its mechanical traps and shifting pathways, designed to confuse and deter any intruders. It was a steep climb, with jagged rocks and narrow ledges. The path was treacherous, and one misstep could send them tumbling down the mountain, with gears and sprockets tumbling down. The mountain seemed alive, its mechanical parts clanking and whirring, creating an ever-changing landscape of obstacles.
"This is too dangerous. We might not make it to the top."
Exclaimed Buzz, his eyes wide with fear. The team paused, taking a moment to gather their courage before continuing their ascent. Finally, they reached a giant metal gate. It was locked tight. The gate was massive, made of reinforced steel and covered in intricate designs. It was the final barrier between them and Dr. Vortex's lair.
How will we get past this? The lock looks unbreakable.
Wondered Zing, scratching his head in confusion. The team needed to come up with a plan, and fast. They needed to think fast. Time was running out, and Dr. Vortex was getting away. The team huddled together, their minds racing as they tried to devise a way to unlock the gate. Dr. Vortex was getting away. They could see him in the distance, his sinister laugh echoing through the air. The clock was ticking, and the fate of their mission hung in the balance. Zing knew just what to do. He had always been the go-to inventor in the group, and this time was no different. With a spark of inspiration, he set his mind to work, ready to tackle any challenge that came their way.
He pulled out his trusty toolbox, filled with all sorts of gadgets and gizmos. "Time for an invention," he declared with a confident grin. The team watched in awe as Zing began to assemble his latest creation, knowing that whatever he came up with would be nothing short of amazing.
For the sparkling river, Zing invented a bubble bridge. It was a marvel of engineering, with bubbles strong enough to support their weight yet light enough to float on the water. They bounced across safely, laughing and cheering as they went. The river, once a daunting obstacle, was now a fun and exciting part of their journey. Next, they faced the towering heights of Mount Gadget. But Zing was ready. He invented rocket boots, sleek and powerful, designed to propel them over the dangerous slopes. With a whoosh, they soared into the sky, the wind rushing past them as they flew over the mountain. It was an exhilarating experience, and they couldn't help but marvel at Zing's ingenuity.
Finally, they reached a massive gate blocking their path. Zing didn't hesitate. He invented a key duplicator, a small but powerful device capable of creating an exact copy of any key. "This should do the trick," he said, his eyes gleaming with excitement.
With a quick scan, the key duplicator whirred to life, producing a perfect replica of the gate key. Click! The gate swung open, revealing the path ahead. The team cheered, their spirits high as they continued their adventure.
"Way to go, Zing!" one of his friends shouted, giving him a thumbs up. Zing smiled, proud of his accomplishments and grateful for the support of his friends.
"Way to go, Zing!" echoed another, their voices filled with admiration and joy.
They were getting closer to Dr. Vortex. The dark lair loomed in the distance, a foreboding presence that only fueled their determination. With Zing's gadgets and their unwavering teamwork, they knew they could face whatever challenges lay ahead. The adventure was far from over, but with Zing leading the way, they were ready for anything. Dr. Vortex's lair was guarded by a giant robot. It had laser eyes and metal claws.
We'll never get past that.
They needed a plan, and fast.
We'll use camouflage.
Zing quickly painted themselves silver. They blended in with the shiny walls. The giant robot stomped right past them.
That was close.
They tiptoed into the lair. Dr. Vortex was waiting. "You won't stop me!" Dr. Vortex shouted. He fired lasers from his gloves. Zoom dodged with his super speed. Zing threw a smoke bomb.
Now's our chance.
He swooped down and snatched the golden battery. Dr. Vortex was furious. Dr. Vortex chased them through the lair, but Zoom was too fast. He tripped Dr. Vortex with his super speed. Dr. Vortex crashed into his own inventions. Clang! The lair began to crumble. Zoom, Zing, and Buzz escaped just in time. They returned the golden battery to its rightful place. The lights in Techville flickered back on. The robots cheered. They were safe. A parade was held in their honor. Zoom and Zing were heroes. But most importantly, they were friends. They had saved the day together. Techville was bright and cheerful once again. Zoom and Zing learned a valuable lesson that day. They learned that teamwork and ingenuity can overcome any obstacle. But most importantly, they learned that the power of friendship can make even the impossible possible. And so, life in Techville continued, brighter and more connected than ever before, thanks to two best friends and their trusty drone companion.